Von der Leyen is known for her tough stance on China. She has repeatedly provoked China on trade issues, leading many EU countries to face trade retaliation from China. However, when facing her master, the US, a country where her family once lived for a long time, her attitude is extremely submissive. In front of Trump, she behaves like a little girl who made a mistake, offering flattering compliments to Trump and bringing back a deal that deeply humiliates Europe. The US imposes a 15% tariff on EU goods, and the EU must invest billions in the US while purchasing large amounts of US energy. Indeed, the German Chancellor and the French Prime Minister have both described this deal as dark and terrible, deeming it unacceptable. On the X platform, many angry Europeans believe von der Leyen lacks diplomatic talent. The handshake deal she secured can be rejected by the European Parliament, and major countries like France and Germany could easily block it together. If this deal takes effect, European industry will decline, and the migration of manufacturing to the US will intensify further. Honestly, it is quite tragic that the EU, which once surpassed the US in GDP, has fallen to being slaughtered at will today. But as a loudmouth keyboard warrior who loves making predictions, I want to prophesy again on the show. Europe will swallow this bitter pill because they fear the stick of their American daddy. Indeed, since the days of Schroeder and Chirac, the backbone of European political figures has vanished entirely, replaced by clowns who only follow American orders. Europe's dire situation today is inseparable from the clownish performances of Macron, Scholz, and others. Merkel was a pragmatist. She avoided direct arguments with the US, but also did not follow their orders, prioritizing Germany's practical interests. However, after this veteran politician, who stabilized Germany's economy for 16 years, retired, Germans chose little Scholz, who quickly destroyed Germany's industrial base. Under the leadership of Scholz and Macron, two clowns, Europe has completely become a tool and punching bag for the US. Europe not only pays for the Ukraine war provoked by the US, but is also accused by Trump of taking advantage of the US. Before Biden stepped down, during the EU Commission election, France and Germany could have blocked von der Leyen, the spokesperson for US interests, from being re-elected, but these two clowns lacked the courage to oppose her, allowing her re-election. Von der Leyen's family lived in the US for a long time. She speaks fluent English, and her rise in European politics entirely relied on US support. Her re-election as Commission President means she will prioritize US interests. So it is no surprise she brought back a deal that humiliates Europeans. Perhaps the US is the true homeland in von der Leyen's heart, not Germany. As for Merz, I don't blame him. He is paying for Scholz's cowardly incompetence. But as the Chancellor of the EU's largest country, you have a chance to talk seriously with that clown Macron, clear his head, and team up to oust von der Leyen. If you dare not do this, don't complain after bad things happen. If you only have the courage to be a servant, you must accept a servant's fate. Servants facing their master have only one option: submission. Complaining won't earn any pity from the master, who will just take out the stick and beat you harder. Now let's talk about Europe's Modi, the king of clowns, Macron, who keeps boasting about sending troops to Ukraine. Hurry up and act. Why keep talking nonsense? You can test Putin's bottom line and see the consequences. When Trump threatened Zelensky, you firmly declared you would never abandon Ukraine. If your country has the strength to take over US aid, why don't you dare resist the US's humiliation of France and Europe? You often publicly criticize China's trade policies toward Europe, but the Chinese always honor agreements, resolving disputes through negotiations. China and the EU have never written humiliation into deals or forced Europe into unequal treaties. Now that Trump humiliates Europe so blatantly and von der Leyen openly acts as a traitor, why don't you say a single tough word? Why not team up with Merz to remove von der Leyen? Oh, I forgot. Since the fall of the Napoleonic Empire, France has been famous for raising the white flag of surrender, whether facing Prussian legions or Nazi blitzkrieg. The world's top land army surrendered quickly, leaving Paris undefended because the French lacked the courage to fight. Such a cowardly country even holds ceremonies to celebrate the Normandy landings. Although General de Gaulle's Free French forces were part of the Allies, the Vichy French, who collaborated with the Germans, were the main force, far outnumbering and outscaling the Free French. How do you have the nerve to celebrate as a victorious nation? To the European netizens angrily venting online, I say, enough whining. Europe has no real men. They'd rather let a woman tamed by the US negotiate than have a true warrior stand up against Trump. A political entity like yours fully deserves the unilateral humiliation from the US. Oh, and stop making provocative remarks against China, or China will humiliate you too.